So Nick, I've got the pastry all ready. This is just a pasta frolla that I made.
That looks terrific.
Does
it's got
it
a little
look
bit
good?
of sugar in it, right?
About a 1/4 cup of sugar, 1½ cups of flour. It has a little bit of salt, 1 egg, and 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter. That's all it is. And then I roll it out, and you see I learned from your books, I really do. I've got my cold marble board.
That's right, that's a big help.
Because when we're talking pastry, we're talking cold, right? That's a real important word.
Makes a big difference. Makes it a lot easier to do.
No
matter
easier.
what you're doing.
And I've got it on parchment paper, and now Nick is
We sprayed the pan.
We're using a 9-inch
piece of paper
pan,
in the bottom of the pan.
a little bit of parchment
Makes it
paper.
easier to unmold later.
And now we can flip this right
Here we
into
go.
the
Should we
pan.
put this right here?
Put this right here. And we're just going to take the dough and flip it into the pan. And we're going to have to patch this down.
Flippare in Italian,
Oh,
right?
flippare. I forgot that. Flippare. Okay. So I'm going to let you put that in there. Slack. We want it slack. So give it a little play. And it doesn't have to come all the way up to the top of the pan, at least if it's coming up halfway.
Right. Well, we
but did I do a good job on it?
You know what? You get the holy picture today for dough rolling, Marianne, definitely.
And that's St. Joseph, the patron saint of pastry chefs. Is that right?
That's right.
All right.
Look at that. That looks fine.
Does it look good? All right. So when we have
Terrific.
that in the pan, we can just set this aside now.
Okay.
Because now we need to make the filling. So
now I need to give it a trim, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Just a little
trim
one?
it a little bit. And let me get the filling ingredients.
About
for this.
halfway up, no?
Yeah, halfway up is good.
Okay.
This is something that, you know, I originally had when I was in Modena, and Nick and I have traveled in Italy together, haven't we? In Sicily, not in
That's
Emilia
right.
Romagna.
We were in Sicily
We were in
together.
Sicily.
That was a while ago.
And I'm just going to, excuse me, I have to go right over your face for a minute here.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, it's a small kitchen. While you're doing that, I'm going to beat up some butter. 4 tablespoons of butter for our torta di Modena, and a 1/4 cup of the sugar. Now this is really the important process right here, isn't it? Creaming.
You want to get that nice and fluffy?
Nice and fluffy and creamy, really important.
So in the meantime, should I put this stuff together here? We got the diced candied citron.
Yes, that's about a 1/2 cup.
Then there's candied orange peel.
Candied orange peel. Another
Candied
1/2
lemon
cup.
peel.
Yep. Can I have those eggs?
Sure.
All right,
what?
so
I will crack them
want to
into
crack them?
here.
Put them right in there.
And then you can just pour them in.
All right, after you've got the butter and the sugar really well blended, then you want to add in those eggs. So I'm going to turn that off before I do that.
That looks good.
So 2 eggs. This is going to become our filling now. So we want to get this smooth.
And this cocoa powder just goes right in here, right,
Right with
Marianne?
that.
And what about the almonds in here too?
The almonds go in there
Ground
too.
up almonds.
So we have about 3/4 of a cup of candied fruits mixed together. You can use orange peel, lemon peel, citron.
So what about the inevitable question? I hate candied fruit.
Well,
What
if
do
you
you do when
hate
people
candied
ask you
fruit,
that?
if you hate candied fruit,
I mean, I don't, but
You could
everybody always says that.
yeah, you could use dried fruits, or you can get some really good Italian candied fruits, or
Yeah.
make your own.
The candied fruit in Italy
Make
is
your
so
own.
wonderful, isn't it?
So now we have
You get your
a
cream.
1/2 cup of light cream goes in, and we just, I don't want to splatter that
a half a bottle
good
of
sugar.
amaretto, or?
No, not a 1/2 bottle. We want about, I'm going to eyeball about a tablespoon.
About a tablespoon.
Yeah, wait a minute,
We
wait.
leave a tablespoon in the bottle.
Yeah, leave a tablespoon in the bottle and put, okay, that's enough. All right, a tablespoon of amaretto, which we should tell everyone is almond liqueur. Now,
That gives a nice flavor.
this is looking good.
So that we just throw this in and mix it in with the rubber spatula?
Allora, pazienza, pazienza. 1 minute. Okay, so now, yeah, we can put that in. Let me get this
Should
out
I
of the
just
way.
mix this in?
Yes. Are you in a hurry or something?
A train to catch.
I know you have a train to catch. It was so nice of him to come and join me in the studio today. So we mix this up. And why don't you finish mixing that?
That
Because
looks great.
that's just part of this recipe. Because now what we have to do is make the tagliatelle part.
That's right, the pasta.
We have to do the pasta. So we want to roll the sheet of dough out so it's nice and thin. Not too thin, but thin enough so that you can see your hand underneath
That's
the sheet.
the next to last setting, right?
Right, well, most pasta machines go up to 7 or 8, but depending on what you buy, it could be a higher setting. But don't go to the very last setting, because the last setting would be much too thin.
Oops.
There, now we have to make the tagliatelle or the tagliatelline cut.
That looks fantastic.
That look good? This is the vermicelli cut. Okay, so now we bring up.
Here's our dough.
Here's our dough.
In the pan.
So let's do that. Let's
Got
now.
a few
You
here
wanna
that were on the side.
Let's kind of shake them in. Shake them in the bottom so they're loose. You know, you don't want these to dry. So when you do this, it's best to have company in the kitchen because then they can help you. So you want to fan that out a little bit. So now that goes right on top. Look at that. I'm so glad I'm making something today that, you know, you find interesting because it's really hard to top you. I mean, you know, you've done everything. Okay.
Thank you. I have several recipes for pastries from that region that are made with different kinds of tagliatelle, but
You've never seen this one.
yeah, this is definitely a new one on me.
Okay. Now once you have it all spread nice and neat.
That looks great. Give me that bowl. I'll get rid of it.
Okay. I thought he was going to lick the bowl there for a minute, but we're going to put now, we put some of these just loosely over the top. You can take some of those. And this is going to provide a nice, interesting texture to this torta. And when you eat this, it's in a very thin wedge.
Okay.
And you usually have it with some nocino, you know, which is that wonderful liqueur from Emilia-Romagna. No, I think that looks right here. Right here, there's a little open spot. And then while he's doing that, you have another piece of parchment paper ready. Give it a little spray, because you want this to stay moist, or you could butter this. This goes over the top, just like that. Your oven is preheated to 350 degrees. And honey,
looks fantastic.
This goes in the oven. We're gonna cook this for about 30 to 35 minutes.